and on all digital platforms. It's the brand new album Rock With Me from Keith Cole. Pick up a copy today and help play tribute to these icons in reggae music.
Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby. Yeah. Rock. 60 and bossy with J and money. When I trip it easy, trust me. Yeah. Come on, just send some money. I instant entry. Look how you lucky. Bossy, J and money, bossy. J and money, send you go a yard. Teen, bossy. Jamaica well bossy. 60 and bossy. We well proudy.
Celebrate Jamaica 60 with J and money for a chance to win a dream vacation for two to Jamaica, including airfare, resort stay, and more. Send money for a chance to win. Your loved ones will also be entered for a chance to win a brand new car. Competition runs from now until December 24th. J and money 60 and bossy enough.
Must be 18 years and older. J and Money Services, USA Inc. Licensed money transmitter in the states of Connecticut, District of Columbia, Maryland, New Jersey, New York, and Massachusetts.
60 and bossy.
No J and bank account.
Honey, you know, I just get a call from Mama again. She told me she haven't received the barrel as yet. Which shipping company do you use to send it off?
Last year, no. I want to do now.
You say, honey, you know you drink too much. I bet definitely your mother you'd use the right company.
Simpson Shipping Enterprise. Weekly sailing to all destinations. In Jamaica, they go to Kingston and Montego Bay. Also ship to Europe and South America, East Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. We offer door-to-door service to Jamaica, Guyana, and England. Simpson Shipping Enterprise, 17 Mount Vernon Avenue, New York. Telephone 914-663-9216 or 914-663-9218.
Yeah, go on like a yeah, mama. You feel me, mama? I remember telling you something. You used to Simpson Shipping? Then go Jamaica, Kingston, and Montego Bay, all over the Caribbean Island.
CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Open Mondays.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music. For your listening pleasure.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Thursday. Let me take it from the top. Thursday. What a day. I'm feeling good. I'm counting down the days in anticipation of the upcoming Labor Day weekend. How about you? What plans do you have? I'd like to know. Well, I'm your producer and presenter of the show called Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Welcome, everyone. We're broadcasting on Linkage Radio 101.7, 104.5 FM, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, www.caribbeanvibesradio.com, Touch FM Radio 90.1, and Inside the Zone with Lady D YouTube channel. It's a beautiful Thursday. Where are you? Is it nice and sunny as it is here in the Northeast? Hi, everyone. Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities. Family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, food insecurity, and more on Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on your budding and buzzing station, Linkage Radio in Mount Vernon, New York. Yeah. I'd like to say I'm here. Or I could say Medea. This evening's feature is Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect, and is broadcast right here on Linkage Radio. It is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx, and Aurora Real Estate Solutions, Inc. Not just a transaction, more of a relationship. Their telephone number is 914-573-1922. Thanks, Aurora. Coming up, our inspirational zone, we get our praise on with great gospel music, followed by News Zone, a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service, followed by Music Zone. Guess what? It's Disco Music Thursday. And in What's in the Zone, the 1936 sit-down strike that brought a powerful automaker to its knees. You know, Labor Day is coming up, right? So I had to find some kind of an unrest feature for you. And in Mail Zone, your emails are my priority from the subject line, left in the middle of the airport. Left in the middle of the airport. So I'd like to welcome you to the show. Features, music, talk, because you're going to be talking to me. Don't forget, at 7 o'clock, that's where we talk a lot in Mail Zone. Are we ready to get our praise on? It's a beautiful Thursday. What time is it? 6:23 p.m. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. Did I say I'm a Jamaican? From Jamaica. Yes, I'm a Jamaican. Are you a Jamaican, or if you're from across the Caribbean, someplace in the world? Well, be proud, man. Let's get our praise on this evening, shall we? My good friend and minister, Kevin Heath. He's here in New York. He's been doing a lot of ministry work. Oh, my God, impacting the lives of people. He was at my church last week, Sunday. The bomb. So, here we go. Remember, he was on with me a few weeks ago with his single from the upcoming album, My Redeemer.
They will know who you are when the wind catches fire and the seas turn to storm. Only then they will know. And you thought about a fly, and you thought about to walk on water. They don't trust in you. That you love them like your sons and daughters. You are Jesus. You are my Redeemer. sacrifice saved the earth. In the hardest of times, you gave me love when I have nothing. In the darkest of days, your light lead the way, so I can be saved. Yes, my times are changing, my bones are aching, because I'm aging, but my love remains the same, and I show that every day. You are Jesus, you are my Redeemer, you are my Savior, the sacrifice Savior. You are Jesus, you are my Redeemer, you are my Savior, the sacrifice Savior. Oh, I recognize the things you do, Lord. Yeah, they know your works are true. Confused and misled, wrong choices we made, and poison ground we trade. But stand steadfast, Jesus is always there beside Jesus. You are my Redeemer, you are my Savior, the sacrifice saved the earth. You are Jesus, you are my Redeemer, you are my Savior, the sacrifice saved the earth. You are Jesus, you are my Redeemer, you are my Savior, the sacrifice Savior. You are Jesus, you are my Redeemer, you are my Savior, the sacrifice Savior.
Yeah. My Redeemer, the voice of Kevin Heath out of Jamaica. Good evening. That was Inspirational Zone. We get a praise on. Have you been clapping? Have you been shouting? Have you been singing? Did you pinch yourself this morning when you got up and say, oh my God, I'm alive, thank you? Or you literally jumped up out of bed and just got ready? Yeah, but you can catch up. You can catch up. You catch up yet? I hope so. What time is it? 28 minutes after 6 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. My name is Denise. Lady D. Gomez. This is Linkage Radio. We've been here a long time. I have lost count. I should ask Dex to remind me when we actually started. I used to count, but I've forgotten, and I've been here with you ever since. You've heard my voice across your airwaves, and I am so happy to be here. I look forward to being here on a Monday and Thursday. Each and every time. It's always a blessing. Like to say hi to all the young people, like Eddie and them. That's the phrase I've actually coined. The young people like Eddie and them. You all know yourselves. Good evening. You're celebrating your birthday. Oh, it's Parker's birthday today. She's a member of my church, one of our, young people, them. Parker. So Parker celebrate her birthday today. I think Parker is 66, so that's a blessed figure, wouldn't you say? Yes. So she's celebrating her birthday. And who is celebrating a birthday again? Somebody. Hi. Happy birthday to you. Of course, it's your wedding anniversary today. I hope you're treated royally. And a baby was born somewhere in the world today. We welcome life. My Google Gaga business going on, baby, just sweet and all that. What a blessing. 29 minutes after 6 o'clock. Coming up next is News Zone, rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. It is brought to you by my new sponsor on board, Aurora Real Estate Solutions. They represent all these services that I'm about to share with you very quickly. So, services are relocation specialist. So that's number one. So wherever you're relocating to, they can assist you to make that smooth transition. Also, if you're a buyer, you're a seller, you're a tenant, landlord. Oh, the dramas of the landlord with the tenants. And that's Carsa Tenant Newell. Remember, Carsa was on with me on Monday for Black Business Month? That's Carsa. And also, they assist in representing in residential and commercial real estate. They offer free buyer and seller's consultation, free market analysis, estate or probate specialist, certified short sale specialist. All these services Carsa will help you with. Carsa Tenant Newell, 914-573-1922. That's 914-573-1922. Aurora Real Estate Solutions, Inc. They will be there just for you. Welcome to the rebroadcast of the news, courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, September 1, 2022. Government will be moving to expand the size and types of plastic bags banned from use in Jamaica. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Matthew Samuda, made the announcement on Tuesday during a virtual plastic forum. He says this has become necessary as more businesses try to circumvent the current regulations.
We have seen persons who have gone right outside of the regulations on plastic bags. So they've gone a little thicker or a little larger, trying to use plastic instead of paper-based and recyclable alternatives or reusable alternatives. That means we're going to have to move the goalpost. And that move will come this year.
On January 1, 2019, a ban was placed on specific categories of single-use plastics. As it regards plastic bags, it prohibits the importation, manufacture, and use of bags 24 by 24 inches in dimension and 1.2 mil or less in thickness. Minister Samuda says government will be moving to increase the types as well as band size, both in terms of dimensions and thickness.
So for all of those who may be online now listening to us and contemplating their next round of purchases, I would suggest strongly to you that you look at the recycling alternatives, because you will get stuck with goods. And the minimum order quantities for these sorts of things, you will have months of goods put down. And that increase in size is coming and coming fast.
He says government will also look at expanding the ban to include plastic lunch containers, so these too can be removed from the waste stream. Minister Samuda says the necessary consultations will be done with the various private sector bodies to ensure there is enough notice so the policy change does not cause displacement in the market. Currently, there is a ban on the local manufacture, distribution, and use of expanded polystyrene foam products used in the food and beverage industry. The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, is strengthening its anti-corruption awareness to combat the practice across all levels of its operation. At a semi-virtual panel discussion on Wednesday, Senior Director of Legal Affairs, Hazel Edwards, said such actions must have legal consequences to achieve the desired results for Jamaica.
If persons are engaged in acts of corruption, there must be effective and forceful prosecution. And prosecution without fear or favor. And it means that if persons at the top are engaged in those actions, then they should be prosecuted.
According to Ms. Edwards, the JCA has been working with a number of agencies, such as the Tax Administration Jamaica, Financial Investigations Division, and the Integrity Commission. But she says there needs to be greater collaboration with regards to information sharing and analysis of data that will lead to apprehensions. The Public Procurement Commission, PPC, is now able to review and approve public procurement submissions from government ministries, departments, and agencies in less than 2 weeks. The Commission is also able to process supplier registrations in less than a week. That announcement comes from Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark. It follows the PPC becoming the 24th public entity in Jamaica to earn ISO 9001-2015 quality standard. Speaking at a recent celebratory event for the certification, Minister Clark said it was in line with government's efforts to reform the public procurement system through a data-driven and evidence-based process.
The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service is undertaking a data-intensive process where we will be retrieving information from over 27 variables in procurement, economic efficiency, regulatory compliance, efficiency with respect to time, etc., and pursue a data-driven approach towards revising the procurement system.
The upgrade of the procurement system is being supported by a grant of over $1 million from the government of the United States. The Urban Development Corporation, UDC, is advanced in the development of a resilience park in Portmore, St. Catherine. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says ground will be broken this year for the park, which is to be developed on 25 acres of land.
Funding is in place, the designs are being finalized. It will be a magnificent park.
The Prime Minister was speaking at a groundbreaking ceremony in Portmore for the construction of the Sandown Palms housing development. He says Emancipation Park in the corporate area will act as a standard for the Resilience Park's construction and maintenance.
NHT spends quite a bit of its resources in maintaining the park and keeping it in pristine condition. We're going to do the same thing now in Portmore. A massive investment it will be in a park so that the people of Greater Portmore can have this high quality recreational space.
The Resilience Park is among the infrastructure projects for Jamaica's 60 celebrations and will coincide with preparations to declare Portmore the island's 15th parish. And finally, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange, says the recently unveiled Mexico-Jamaica Friendship Mural is now a must-see attraction for visitors arriving on the island. The full-color mural, titled Reignited for Unity and measuring 49 feet by 167 feet, was officially unveiled at the CMEX complex in Rockfort recently. It was jointly created by artists Irving Cano Gomez and Freddy Ramirez Herrera from Mexico, along with Jordan Harrison, Anthony Smith, and Unique Yip from Jamaica.
The creative work illustrates the strong cultural and artistic traditions of both Jamaica and Mexico and depicts a Jaguar man, a powerful representation of Mexican Aztec culture, presenting his heart to a beautiful singing Jamaican female, representative of the beauty and the spirit of our people and our Jamaican music.
The work is an extension of the Culture Ministry's ongoing Paint Up Your Creative Space mural project. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
That was a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. How are you feeling out there? My name is Denise. Did you know that? My name is Denise. Yes, my name is Denise. Lady D Gomez. And I'm welcoming you to Linkage Radio, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, Touch FM Radio 90.1, and YouTube channel. That's my channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D. I'd also like to say a very special hello to Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Time signal 6:38 p.m. brought to you by Cooler Runnings. Give them a call, 718-324-7484. That's 718-324-7484. Did I tell you it's my Disco Music Monday? So how about a bit of break for you? I've been giving you information since I came on here. But it's about time we take a breather and dance a little bit. Coming up right after will be What's Inside the Zone. You perhaps could tell me, you know everything, don't you? I trust you. Let's dance a little bit. It's my Disco Music Thursday. I wonder why.
He's the greatest dancer. I wonder why.
Yeah, music on a Thursday. Center Stage, a platform where voices are heard and people connect. Don't forget to invite someone to log on to my YouTube channel one night. And if they're not able to log on, they can just tune into the Linkage Radio TuneIn app
With my favorite gang.
Thursdays are always nice.
Filled with out of towners touring. I knew that it
Good evening to Oral Patrick. We went to high school together.
But I felt
well, you know, we went to the same high school. Oral, you're hearing me, right? Same thing I do to Owen.
kind of body.
Good evening to my Island Blend gentleman, Lou Brown.
Make any man proud. Oh, what wow. He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow. That I've ever seen. Oh, what wow. He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow. The champion of dance, his moves will put you in a trance, and he never leaves the disco alone. Arrogance but not conceit, as a man he's complete. My creme de la creme, please take me home. He wears the finest clothes, the best designers, heaven knows. Ooh, from his head down to his toes. Halston, Gucci, Fiorucci. He looks like a steal. That man is dressed to kill. Oh, what wow. He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow. That I've ever seen. I've ever seen. He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow. Ooh, 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 wow. Oh, what wow.
By now, you all know I love disco music.
Oh, what wow. That I've ever seen. I love the move.
I think we were so creative.
He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow. That I've ever seen.
Hey, Lou. Don't forget to share the link with someone, my Inside the Zone channel. Say hop on over. Center Stage is happening. Linkage Radio, 104.5, 101.7 FM. Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. Touch FM Radio 90.1. TouchFMRadio.com. 6:43 p.m. And the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. And Aurora Real Estate Solutions, Inc., not just a transaction, more of a relationship. Cars Attendant, Newell, 914-573-1922. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228.
Oh, what wow. He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow. I've ever seen. I've ever seen. Oh, what wow. He's the greatest dancer. Oh, what wow. Ooh, 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 wow. Oh, what wow.
Coming up at 7 p.m. Left in the middle of the airport. Oh my gosh. Mail Zone, your emails are my priority. Coming up in a minute, what's in the zone? The 1936 sit-down strike that brought a powerful automaker to its knees. Back to school is in swing. You have children going back to school. You're shopping, having a headache while you're doing it. 6:45 p.m. taking it down on a Thursday evening. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's now time for me to take you to what's in the zone this evening. A bit of history for you, That's how I roll right here on the show. Hi, everybody. Calm down. You dance. You need a breather. I'm allowing you the time. So let's start off this evening with a bit of history for you. The General Motors body plant in Flint, Michigan was usually a thankless place filled with loud sounds and feverish, dangerous work of turning metal into auto bodies. But in January 1937, the sounds of whistling and conversation filled the air. Instead of toiling over dangerous machinery, workers gambled, wrestled, and played ping pong on the usually busy factory floor. Quote, "We made it a ball out of it," recalled Earl Hubbard, a GM worker, in an oral history. The workers weren't on vacation. They were on strike. Over 44 days in 1936 and 1937, members of the fledgling United Auto Workers Union managed to bring an auto behemoth to its knees in a sit-down strike that became one of the most decisive victories in American labor history. Exhausted by industry's dangerous demands and sharpened by the Great Depression, over 100,000 auto workers changed labor history without picketing their plant. Instead of walking out, they simply sat down and refused to leave. Historically, striking workers had risked their lives on the picket lines. Though unions often formed in response to dangerous working conditions, going on strike exposed workers to the danger of physical violence from hired thugs or police that served as companies' strong arms. Unions had long struggled to create unions across industries. Instead, craft unions that organized workers across specialties were the norm. The automobile industry had long discouraged unions. Workers knew they could lose their jobs for trying to organize and faced corporate spies who reported any pro-union activity back to management. According to historian Timothy P. Lynch, General Motors invested $1 million in surveillance between 1933 and 1936. For many auto workers, unions simply weren't worth risking their jobs. Pay was relatively good, and when workers were laid off, they were often rehired at higher rates once the company's profits rose. But then the Great Depression hit in 1929. Car sales collapsed, and the industry's production levels sagged. Automakers slashed jobs, axing thousands of employees with no regard for seniority. Those who did keep their jobs tolerated abysmal working conditions. Afraid to speak up lest they be laid off too. The story was the same across the entire economy and stoked discontent among job seekers and workers alike. Meanwhile, the nation's largest automaker, General Motors, was actually experiencing an uptick in sales thanks to its aggressive response to the Great Depression. When the economy had begun to spin out of control, GM had slashed prices, cut production of some more expensive models, and laid off huge swaths of its workforce. The moves helped keep GM on top. By 1936, writes historian Stephen W. Sayers, it dominated more than 43% of the domestic market and was the nation's most profitable automaker. But GM had maintained its grip on the automobile market at the expense of its own workers. After laying off thousands, it hired many back, but didn't take seniority into account and paid lower wages than before. Quote, assembly lines were speeded up mercilessly to raise productivity and restore profit levels, unquote, write Sayers. Workers chaffed at the grueling pace, the dangerous work, and the company's habit of laying off workers at will. Quote, I have absolutely seen them hire 100 men and fire 100 all the same day, unquote, recalled Ray Holland, a Chevrolet worker, in an oral history. You never knew whether you had a job or not. Though the Depression brought suffering for workers, a flicker of hope came in the form of the National Labor Relations Act, known as the Wagner Act. The 1935 law guaranteed workers the right to organize and join labor unions and to engage in collective bargaining and strikes. It also set up the National Labor Relations Board, a federal agency designed to enforce labor law. The United Auto Workers, a recently formed trade union, had slowly and secretly begun organizing at GM. If the union was to bring the automobile industry together, it had to go after its largest employer and do so strategically. Organizers decided to focus on the Fisher Body Plant No. 1 in Flint, Michigan, home to 7,000 workers and the place where car bodies were made. Organizers met with the Flint workers at their homes and talked them out of walking off the job right away. Instead, organizers planned to stop production through a sit-down strike in January of 1937, after Christmas bonuses had been paid and a new labor-friendly governor was in power in Michigan. That plan was derailed on December 30, 1936, when workers at the body plant saw critical equipment being lugged onto railroad cars to be sent to other factories. Word was out that the Flint factory was a Union stronghold. Workers gathered for an emergency meeting, then flooded back into the plant. The strike was on. Now, men who had worked in the plant occupied it around the clock. They slept on sheepskins, piled up car mats and makeshift beds, and ate food donated by local grocery stores. Farmers and families outside the plant, women raised funds, took care of families, and even formed human shields to fend off police. General Motors had been taken by surprise. Though it had suspected workers might strike, it wasn't aware that they would use the new tactic of sitting down or occupying the plant. Sitting down was a way of ensuring the factories wouldn't operate and workers wouldn't be replaced, says labor historian Nelson Lichtenstein, a labor historian who directs the Center for the Study of Work, Labor, and Democracy at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Though GM tried to stop the strike in the courts and even received an injunction that said the workers were trespassing, the effort backfired. The strikes were technically illegal, but when you have a mass democratic insurance agency, you really create new law on the ground, says Lichtenstein. GM had the law on their side, but they risked public humiliation and legal consequences of their own if they used physical force to evict the workers. Instead, 13 days after the strike began, GM cut off heat in 16-degree weather. When workers went outside to complain, security guards and police rushed in. As tear gas filled the plant, workers fought back, throwing everything from automobile bolts to pieces of roof on the attackers before the police finally fled. Workers dubbed the melee the Battle of the Running Bulls. In response, Michigan Governor Frank Murphy mobilized the National Guard. Law and order must be maintained in Michigan, he told the public. In the past, news of 1,200 guardsmen descending on Flint to impose law and order would have been devastating to workers, who knew they would be used as a weapon against them. But Murphy was labor-friendly and didn't use troops to intimidate the workers. Instead, the National Guard became a peacekeeping force that ultimately protected the workers and facilitated negotiations. This allowed for the first time for the union and the company to be equal around the negotiating table, historian Jason Koznowski told MLive. Eventually, the strike spread to 17 GM plants over 44 days. The spotlight was on GM, which at first refused to budge. The company tried to fight the strike in court, but the strikers ignored an injunction and Murphy refused to enforce it with the National Guard. Then President Franklin Delano Roosevelt urged GM to negotiate. The combination of those pressures got GM to the negotiating table. In the deal that followed, the UAW gained union recognition and a promise the company would not discriminate against workers who had struck. General Motors also raised wages by 5 cents an hour, likely in response to wages hikes by other automakers, terrified the sit-down strike would spread to them. Murphy's refusal to use the National Guard to break up the strike was considered the most decisive factor in ending the strike at GM. On February 11, 1937, workers paraded out of the plant, victorious. Suddenly, in the distance, we heard them singing "Solidarity Forever," recalled Shirley Foster, the wife of a union organizer, in an oral history. It was an enormous celebration all over the city that night. Flint would never know a feeling like that again. The strikes had lasted for 44 days, left 136,000 GM workers idle, and caused 280,000 cars to go unbuilt. Though much of the public was against sit-down strikes and considered labor unionists to be dangerous rabble-rousers, GM's public image had suffered too, and labor would never be the same. Union membership ballooned from 3.4 million workers in 1930 to 10 million in 1942, and the majority of the automobile industry swiftly unionized, gaining benefits and pay they never would have obtained without organizing. They were the most important strikes in American history, says Lichtenstein. For decades, he says, industrial unionism reigned supreme, leading to a higher standard of living for working Americans. Today, the UAW has over 400,000 active members and more than 600 locals around the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico. Though few actually went on strike in 1936, Lichtenstein notes they had an outsized impact on American society. It required a vanguard to show what was possible, he says. The Flint sit-down strike proved sitting still was just as powerful as walking off the job. History for you. Labor Day is on Monday. It's not just about us getting a day off and relaxing at home, but people fought hard for injustices that were being meted out to them across all spectrums of the working society. My name is Denise, Lady D. Gomez. I'd like to welcome you. You're just joining me. Ha ha ha. It's a good day. Hello to my YouTubers. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome to you. Of course, you know what time is it? It's 1 minute to the hour of 7 o'clock. What's coming up next? Mail Zone, left in the middle of the airport. What on earth is that? I would like to hear your voice this evening as we talk about what's going on. Welcome, everyone. My name is Denise, Lady D. Gomez. What's your name? How are you? Where are you? Who are you? And where are you from? The show is brought to you by Aurora Real Estate Solutions, Inc. Carsa tenant Newell. Call her 914-573-1922.
Hi, this is Carsa Tenant Newell, owner of Aurora Real Estate Solutions. Whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or renting a home in New York or the state of Georgia, I can help. Remember, real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth. Call me at 914-573-1922 to find out more. That's 914-573-1922, or follow me on Instagram at Carsa Tenant Newell. That's Carsa Tenant Newell. I'm looking forward to earning your business.
Welcome to Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority.
Two hearts together, we're a harmony so right. Two sparks united, we're a fire burning bright.
All the true, always brand new. Right from the jump, we had a hunch that we had everything. Perfect combination. Love plus you and me, a perfect combination. We couldn't ask for any better. Perfect combination. We fit to a team, a perfect combination. With all it takes to last forever. Together.
Welcome to Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. I'd like us to hop on over to our inbox. Let's get our mail. Alrighty then. Let's pop here and see what's going on in our mailbox. From the subject line left in the middle of the airport. Dear Lady D, my wife and I are married for 4 years. We met on one of my visits to the US and we fell in love. A few months later, she put my papers into immigration. Finally, I arrived here last August. I expected that now we are together, our marriage would be at a deeper level but she is a changed woman. The first night her phone rang, she snatched it up quickly from the dinner table and went into the bedroom. When she came out, I asked her who it was that called her and why she could not speak to the person in my presence. She told me it was a call from her job and had to speak in private. So being the gentleman I am, I let it go. 2 Fridays ago, she came home after 10 o'clock. When I asked her where she was coming from and why she had not called, she said if I had a job, I wouldn't be too occupied. Let me read that, I'm sorry. When I asked her where she was coming from and why she had not called, she said if I had a job, I would be too occupied to be waiting up for her. I reminded her I am her husband and must be concerned. She simply shrugged her shoulders and went to prepare for bed. Later that night, I heard her phone vibrating next to her. I knew she was awake, but refused to answer the call. I nudged her to either take the call or turn off her phone. Well, she did not take the call. At breakfast the next morning, I did not hesitate to ask her if she's seeing another man. She was quite annoyed and refused to answer. After she left for work that morning, I followed her to her job. I waited out in my car, and soon after she came out of the building, and a car drove up and she got in it. I was mad. I followed them to a motel, Lady D, How could my wife sink herself so low? I have given her everything. While I was in Jamaica, I made sure her bills were taken care of and took trips often to keep our long distance marriage together. I love my wife and am willing to fight for her. As if this discovery was not enough, several hours later, they left the motel in an Uber. As I followed them, I realized that they were heading in the direction of the JFK airport, but kept my calm. When they drove up, they both got out and headed into the building. Lady D, it was like a movie. I bolted from my car and ran in after them, shouting out her name. But to my surprise, my wife stared me in the face and told me to go home. Needless to say, I was the spectacle everyone pitied in that moment. How could I fight for her in the middle of the airport? To this moment, she has not called, which means she left. I am left to believe that she has abandoned our marriage. I am planning to return to Jamaica to continue my life. That's the letter that came into my inbox. I am telling you, I have gotten some letters, only the Lord knows. Some of them I can actually read here, others I cannot. And I've had to reply to these people to say, hey, when you're writing, you have to tone it down a bit, because there are just some languages I can't use on my platform. But I guess people are spreading the word. Somebody sent me a note and told me that we listen to this because we want to hear and we have our own stories. What say you in this one? The poor man, his wife and boyfriend gone about their business. You may give me a call, 914-600-4228, because I think this one was just downright barefaced, shocking, everything in one. The poor man ran after them and his wife just looked at him. And after reading it, I realized that he's such a dignified person. There's no way he was going to, kick off shoes and drop a fight into the middle of the airport. So she gone about her business. Gone. He has not heard from her since. What is that? Do you have anything to share with me on this? What say you? Don't forget, we have half an hour. 914-600-4228. It's now 8 minutes after 7 o'clock. Who will be my first caller? 914-600-4228. Ryan. Ryan, will you stop? Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone.
Wait the town and tell the people.
And we have a second caller, so I'm asking everyone to make their comment. And we have a third caller, so this is a hot button one. Good evening, King Ryan. How are you? To my two callers, please stay online. I'll get to you in a moment. Go ahead, Ryan.
Queen, good evening. I'm here. I'm telling you, Duel. I can't say to you, man, you not change the lock and everything. And wait and see. You don't have to go me. If you have papers, you can't stay and see what I go on. Because you need to do some paperwork before you can just tell me I go to Jamaica. So you need to make some final decision before you go home. Go.
Well, she did file for him, so he has his status is in place.
Well, Master, me like you, me sit down a yard and the first thing I do, I change lock and I change every lock. First thing I do, change every lock. You need to call the locksmith first.
Oh, dear Lord.
And you need to give 30 days. After 30 days, get 2 barrels, pack up everything that belongs to her.
Have you ever heard anything like this yet?
You see, as we have a letter before, and We say this all the while, and we can tell anybody. When someone show you who they are, believe it's hard. I mean, it's not hard because of wife or whatsoever. Do not fight for something you never have, because you don't lose what you never have. He thought he had a wife. So he need to come to his norms and say, okay, if you're going to cry, master, cry and wake up and take a shower and then move on. So take yourself through the process slowly, but move on. Don't sit down outside of the airport and wait for the plane land. The plane not going to land there, so it'll land somewhere else. So if you know where it's going to land, then you can go there. But put yourself through the process, Papa. Take your time, no ignorance, and make a decision. First thing you want to do is change the lock. So you know one gonna work and come in and she show up. She got to sit down out the door and wait till you come.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Let me take
behavior. She get late.
All righty. Thanks, Ryan.
Continue with the next caller.
All righty. I appreciate it. Mail Zone, your emails are my priority. Who is next in line? Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
You're a little low. MS?
Yes, MS.
Yes. Go ahead.
I have a big suggestion for this gentleman. Take some connection with a Hollywood producer.
You know what, MS?
He can be wealthy out of this deal. Just sell a Hollywood producer the story.
Oh,
and
Lord.
you'll be making a ton of money.
Oh, Lord. That's it? You no empathy for him?
Well, if you find yourself in a situation like this, just pack your bag and take off. It's not going to work out.
Yes. Oh, boy. I tell you.
If you get into a fight, you're only going to put yourself in legal problems. So pack your bag and take off and make a new start.
Okay. All right.
And like I suggested, find a Hollywood producer and sell him the story, because he can be wealthy from the story.
Lord, I tell you, poor thing. Thanks, MS.
Okay.
All righty. Who is my next caller? Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone.
Good evening, Lady D. Very interesting. I agree that, yes, in terms of he needs to just go, because his wife kind of showed him early, and he saw the signs, but he didn't really, he wanted to be sure, and he did get confirmation by following them and so forth. However, unfortunately, he sounds like a very dedicated man who's in love, but no matter how much in love you are, sometimes some things are unfixable, and this is a grown woman. She knows what she's doing, and she played him. She probably was enjoying the money he was spending to her and all of that, but at the same time she had her man, and so forth. So then she's not marriage material, you know. So then, just as MS suggested, to pack and go, because it sounds like it's her house.
Yes.
So in terms of changing locks, that wouldn't make a difference. In that, the point is he just changes his life path by not having her as a wife. Divorce is in place, because adultery is grounds for divorce. So he has every right to want a divorce. Unfortunately, though, Lady D, too often we try to stay around and try to change the person.
Yes.
And we can't change people. If a person don't see the problem in what they're doing, then there's no change for him to trying to change her because he loves her. You know, he could love someone else.
Yes. Thank you, Al. Appreciate it. All righty. Well, would you like to call Oro? The telephone number is 914-600-4228. You may call and share your comments with me right here on Inside the Zone. The segment is Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. The segment is brought to you by Aurora Real Estate Solutions, services representing relocation, buyers, sellers, tenants, landlords. in residential and commercial real estate. We offer free buyer and seller's consultation, free market analysis, estate or probate specialist, certified short sale specialist. Call Carsa Tenant Newell, 914-573-1922. She is in the state of Georgia. Are you planning to relocate? Give her a call. What say you? Mail Zone, your emails are my priority. If you're just joining me, I'd like to welcome you. You perhaps missed out on this very interesting letter that I got. Here is a gentleman. He's from Jamaica. So is his wife. Okay? And he had met her on a visit when he came to the United States. So they've been married for 4 years, and she filed for him, and he came up. Then he observed that she has been getting some little sidebar telephone calls. Even at night, the phone is vibrating on the bed. So, she has formed her own habits and pattern, and clearly now husband come and she really don't know how to sever that. And it so happened that he decided to follow her one morning because he figured something is going on, right? He follows her, drive behind her, in other words, to her job. She gets out, she goes into the building. Sometime after, she come out, and when he saw her, a car drive up. She goes into the car speed off, gone. They went to a motel. He is griping, literally, and he sits out there. Then after that, they left into an Uber, and they were headed to the airport. And he's following them behind the Uber. And what happened after that? They get out of the Uber. Is not one leaving and one saying goodbye. They're both heading somewhere. So he rushes into the airport, and he calls her by name. She turns around, she looks at him, and she tells him to go home. That means the woman has left you. She leaves you emotionally for some time now. If somebody leaves you emotionally, I am telling you, you get nothing else out of them. They'll be there physically, but they have left, and the door is closed. And so the poor man is saying, but what on earth, my wife gone? Just like that. You have a comment to make? Would you like to? They all listen. Can I tell you? When they hear your comments, a lady had said to me, Lady D, they gave me a good whipping. They listen to you. And you do give constructive analysis of their situation. You give them constructive criticism, right? Welcome to Mail Zone. Hi, how are you?
Well, a pleasant good evening to you, Lady D, and to all my friends in the chat.
Yeah.
How are you today, Lady D?
My Pat, I'm good. How are you?
I am blessed. I am blessed. Oh, my gosh. This topic this evening, it just kind of tugged at my heart.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. This man sounds like a very decent man. And usually it's on the flip side of the coin. It's the woman who usually gets shafted by the men. But for this poor man, oh my God, he's naive. He just didn't know. The woman has been having an affair for a long time. She has her man on the side, and she just did not want to tell him. But that was a cruel way for him to find out that she's having extramarital affair,
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it's going to take for him to realize he doesn't have a wife. He might not have had a wife for a long time because we have to question what was their sex life like.
Mm-hmm.
How long has she been jilted? Has she been having any relationship with him?
Mm-hmm.
It might have been just a cold environment. And I wish he would have indicated in the letter that they were not actually, romantically involved. It's just such a cold way for her to just leave him like that. But as far as Ryan said, to change the lock. You know, I guess he loves her so much that he is anticipating that she would come back to him, or he's leaving the door open for her to sit down and have a dialogue. Because what if the relationship that she's in with that man, if that relationship fails, would he be willing to take her back?
I would hope not.
You know, but I only hope his eyes are open for him to really see, because it's a clear indication he loves this woman.
Yes.
You know, he's head over heels with her, but his heart on the other end, you know, it's so broken. And I only hope that and wish that people would take a stop and realize you don't tug at someone's heartstring. You don't play around with someone like that. And I see this is why a lot of women in Jamaica are being killed. They're playing the game. Some of them is licky.
Yes.
And for her to have, started this man papers, it indicates that she might have really loved him. But later on, you know, things change. But what about someone being honest? You know, you just simply let the individual know, listen, the relationship is not working. And I think it's about time that we part. We go our separate ways. You go your way, and I go my way. But instead of playing games, you know, playing games and toying at someone's heart, at some point in time, something is going to give. As far as giving any advice, I really don't know what to say in this year's case, because, you know, there has to be more to the story than meets the eye. You know, he's just telling us what he wants us to know. There's more on in his part, and then, you know, you would have to listen to her side of the story too.
Yes.
You know, so for us to just take his side, you know, I sympathize and I empathize that his heart is broken and he feels like a reject. But there is more to it than meets the eye.
Yes.
I would recommend really that he go get some professional help, though.
Yeah, because the fact that he could disclose, you know, what happened, how it unfolded in the airport, that alone is bound to have made, that's a blow, man.
That's to put him over the edge.
Yeah.
That is rejection. And you know, Lady D, men don't like to be rejected.
Yes.
Men don't like to be rejected. A woman can be jilted and rejected, and she can handle the rejection in a different way as opposed to a man. A man doesn't want a woman to reject him because he feels that his ego, you know, is way over there.
And it will be bruised. Yes.
And it's easily bruised, and sometimes they end up being the laughing stock by their friends. You know, I thought she was a hunk or a huncho or whatever it is, and the woman leave you, man, what kind of man are you?
Lord, Pat.
No, let that broad leave you. What you going to do about this?
Oh, Lord.
You know, they egg them on.
Yes. Well, thanks, Pat. I appreciate all of you.
Lady D,
all right.
As usual, I love your program. I can't wait. Sometimes, you know, just when the program is going on, I get company. My sisters come to visit, or I get phone calls.
Hush.
But I am so glad this evening I've just didn't have any company. I just couldn't wait to just sit and listen.
Yes.
So thank you for coming into our homes as usual. You know, I love the platform, I love the topics, and I love my peeps in the chat.
Yes, the family over there. So thank you, Pat.
Oh, yes, we're in our own little world. And good evening to Sister Gloria.
Yes. All righty.
Okay.
Blessings, Pat.
All right.
Thanks.
I'm listening. Okay. Bye-bye.
I really do appreciate those of you who have spent the time to call in. I do have Oral online, and Oral says, I would like to hear her side. How has this guy made her unhappy? Personally, I don't think he has made her unhappy. I think it's either she lives here, right? And you're supposed to be committed to your partner, your spouse. But nothing more than she meets somebody and it got out of control. And then the husband, he takes regular trips to the US. And naturally, he's not going to pop up on her. He's going to say, honey, I'm coming up, right? So she perhaps shelved my man. But now, I believe that the person she's seeing is one of those not going to let go whether husband here or not kind of person. And I think she got sucked in by him. Because if some men will have boundaries, yes, they will be seeing somebody else's wife, but if they know the husband come, then will do them best not to maybe call at odd hours when you are not expecting to be getting no call, unless somebody dead on board for some reason. So there are some men who have that respect, quote unquote, right? They will say, I won't call you because John did it. You know, call me when you can, kind of thing. But if in a night and she have the phone, she don't even silence the phone, so that's even worse. So on both ends, there's a problem. You have phone on bed, him calling late when you should be in your bed with your husband. Come on now. And if the husband was an abusive person, there would have been a big brawl. Fighting a night, phone a throw across the room, all kind of mess. We have to be practical here. So I feel that other person, that man, he does not care. He doesn't care. And I think she just got herself into something that she could not handle. And even if she genuinely likes the other man, she broke down her respect for her husband. Everybody in it is just, it's just too much. So Carsi is on. Carsi says, Lady D, there's three sides to every story. His side, her side, and the real. I agree with you. Jackie says, watch what is going to happen to her. Him a go do the same to her. You watch. Okay, I hear you, Jack. Courtney says, the other guy is more exciting and the sex is better. Who knows these things? All that is possible. Carsi says, real side. So whilst this is an unfortunate story, it's hard to make any judgment without the full story. Nonetheless, this is not a healthy situation for anyone. I agree. I totally agree. Because can you imagine your wife jumping plane gone with another man? To this minute, you don't hear a word. You don't know if she died. You don't know nothing about her. Oh, no. I'm telling you, in this world in which we live, the things that are happening will shake us to the core. But again, if somebody leave you emotionally, that's it. You're not getting anything out of them. And they will disregard, disrespect, everything will happen. So good evening, everyone. 28 minutes now after the hour of 7 o'clock. What a letter this evening. It's an interesting situation, a very unfortunate one that this man has found himself in. But you know what? I'm grateful to her that she went through the process and he got his green card. Boom. Right? Him have him green card. Him can go do whatever. So him not here a box boat, and he's planning to go back home anyway. And I'm thinking he must have had a good job. You know how much people have good job come over here and just turn box about? I have friends in Jamaica, and they will tell me they are not coming. They will come and visit any day because they're doing well there. So can you imagine? He didn't pick up a job yet. You heard what the wife tell him? If he was working, he wouldn't have time to be, pretty much a tracker. Oh, that's just rude. So she herself is just out of line. And it's because the other man is there whispering sweet nothings. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Shucks. Mail Zone, your emails are my priority. That's a wrap for the feature. My name is Denise, Lady D. Gomez. It's a good day. It's Thursday. It's Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect right here on Inside the Zone with Lady D. Denise Gomez. You're tuned in to Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM. I'm also broadcasting on Touch FM Radio 90.1 and CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. Hey, Chris Wilby. Brother Chris. How are you, Chris? Ryan says sweet something. Whatever that is. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228, 7:30 p.m. You may still call, I have no problems taking the call if you want to call. The segment is officially ended, but of course it's Center Stage and I'm rolling over into other things. But before I roll over, so much talking and talking. How about some musicking and some musicking? What do you think? And oh, by the way, this coming Saturday ought to be great on Saturday morning runnings. Why? Back to school. School soon open. And many of us remember what it was like preparing for school, as our parents would get us ready. We go shop, we take washout, all kind of stuff would be happening. And in Jamaica, there is a great concern on the nation's table about our teachers. Teachers are leaving the profession. They're moving on to other disciplines. They're moving to new countries and all kinds of things. I was watching a press briefing with Fable Williams. She's the education minister. And she did say that some of the schools that have experienced that high volume of resignations, they have since filled those positions. So it's not a case. It sounds bad that teachers are leaving. And teachers leave the system here in the U.S. as well and go on to other things. Don't be fooled. So there is, I was watching a feature, an education feature that Nationwide had. And, they were saying that people overseas are cautioning teachers in Jamaica not to make rash decisions about leaving Jamaica and going elsewhere because you think it can be better. Because they say the system here is not all that. Are we still number 33 in this country in terms of, our education standing? We were number 33. This first world country was 33. I don't know if it gone up or it dropped. I should have checked. So, as we are thinking about our discussion for Saturday, while it may be comical in some respects, but we will also analyze the status of our education system. Where is it? The education ministry, they are trying. They're trying. And I listened to the press briefing this afternoon. And there are teachers who are, the Jamaica Teachers Association, they're all fired up about what's not happening. And fine, you can blame the education ministry all you like, but there is an absence, I believe, of creativity from the educators, the principals. I feel that there are some schools where principals are so vigilant in mobilizing their teachers into implementing new ways of connecting with their students. And no matter if the school don't have much money, the principals get their teachers to understand that, listen, we don't have enough, but this is what we're going to do so that our students can excel like any other school. But there are other institutions where they are waiting for the ministry to implement and to administrate. You have your own school. I think you should find a way to make something happen positively for your students in that school. Get parents on board. Method in every madness, you know. If you don't know how to talk to people, you're not going to get nothing out of them. And there are parents who will not only just drop their children off, because there are schools in Jamaica, and that's what they're saying. There's some schools, the parents all up into everything, willing to help, willing to dedicate their time. Those who not working, there are a myriad of stories. Some parents don't work. They literally go to the school and said, what can I do? My child is here in this school. I can come, give 2 hours, 3 hours, something. But everybody waiting on education ministry. Everybody hands up in the air. And all the rhetoric is why teachers are leave and the system broken. All of us come out of it. Me, you as a Jamaican came out of the system. So that's what's on the table here. Oh, hey there. Mr. Wilby, I see you there. Thank you for being here. So Carsi says, a lot of my friends in Jamaica has no interest in living in America. This would be a good topic, Lady D. Professional Jamaicans who come here to bounce about. I know. Chris says teachers leave every year. Carsa says, I just did. You know, was teaching for the last 5 years and I left that profession this past June. And she's talking about here in the U.S. So Chris says, America is actively recruiting Jamaican teachers because the teachers here are leaving. And as you know, we always believe the grass is greener on the other side. Well, that is true. Until you get in the system. Until you get here, and I usually tell people, the United States of America is here. Its borders are opened to everyone, right? Until there's some issue at a border. But it is open. But I feel that sometimes when we're coming, there's no real plan. And I think what has caught many of us is when you come on vacation, you know, vacation is different from living here. When you come, good evening, how are you?
Good evening.
Yes.
It's me again.
Yes, sir.
For me, I agree with if you're young and single and just left teachers college, jump on the plane like yesterday. Come try. No, but not get bridge back, you come try. Trust me. And all of we both are going to sing. Some are going to float, some are going to land where they want to land, and some are going to reach and flourish and cruise around the world. I agree with the teacher then. The government here not paying the teachers as much. Because when you think about it, Lady D, for a teacher who live where established family have rent, have bills, have kids are raised, $500 can't do that for that teacher, you know.
No, but we get it.
Me now single, single, come up from Jamaica, come teach, and I make $400 after taxes. And when me send that back on my yard, look on the amount of money I have. But it cannot do nothing for that teacher who is here with a family to raise.
Right.
That money can't do nothing. So, me think I can society them and leave. But me agree with everybody, come for the experience.
Yes.
Come try.
I get you.
The good thing about it, you're landing with papers to work, which is the best thing ever.
Right. So you're not boxing boat.
No. You don't like it, you pack up your bag and you're gone back to your yard. That's
Yes.
not wrong.
Yeah.
How me say.
Thank you, King. Alrighty, do you have a comment? 914-600-4228. I'm open. But, you know, education for the world is important. If we do not have teachers to teach us with ABC and our 1, 2, 3s, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? And did you know that the children who are like the 9-year-olds and so on, they were so adversely affected during the pandemic because they couldn't grasp the virtual concept of learning. So there is a whole thrust right now on having shadow teachers, extra lessons to help to bring them up, because they are way behind. Some of them just did not do well at all in the system. Some from the virtual learning started, some never show up at all. So for 2 years during the pandemic, nobody no see no picnic come. Some of them did not show up. What is going to happen? They are way behind. They just, either parents didn't send them, or parents didn't have the money to buy the device, the Wi-Fi issue. It's a whole potpourri of stuff that transpired when the pandemic hit us. I'm telling you, globally. But I'm talking about Jamaica. You have a comment? Call me. 914-600-4228. Want to say good evening to my YouTubers and everyone. Don't forget the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Narita Avenue in the Bronx.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Narita Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
7:41 p.m. Welcome back. I got a little more music for you. You may give me a call anyway. I'm open to the discussion. Disco Music Thursday. Gonna get over you. Gonna get over you. Over you. Gonna get over you. Cause tomorrow I know I'll get over you. Cause tomorrow I know I'll get over you. You're heavy on my mind, baby. I just can't face the fact that you said goodbye. Why you said goodbye? Why you made me cry? Why you lived a lie? You said our love won't die. But baby, I can't let this get me down. I got my life to live. Hi, it's my Disco Music Thursday. Would you like to dance with me? Hello. I'm good. I can hardly hear you though.
You hearing me now?
A little better. How are you? Good evening.
Okay, I'm giving thanks for another day. I believe that the teachers should taken care of more better.
Mhm.
Because if it wasn't for the teacher, you wouldn't have a prime minister, you wouldn't have a president, right?
Mhm.
You wouldn't have a governor general if it wasn't for teachers.
Mhm.
So I believe the teachers, the government should give the teachers more attention to the teacher. The teacher should be paid
Mhm.
a little better.
Mm.
Yes, that's my belief.
Yes.
Should taken care of. The teachers should be taken care of.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because through the teachers, why you have a prime minister, why you have a president, why you have a governor general.
Mhm. Right.
So
We
that
take
is my
that
comment.
because they had to be taught.
Oh yes, they have to be taught. So that is my comment.
I got you. Thank you. Who is
Teachers a
calling?
little better.
Mhm.
Teachers a little better.
Yes.
If the teachers was getting a better salary, they wouldn't have to
They
quit
wouldn't
their job.
leave.
They wouldn't
Mhm.
leave quitting their job like that.
Mhm. Yes.
So
Who
the
am I
government
speaking
must
with?
take that into consideration. The government must take that, and the Ministry of Education must take that into consideration.
Yes. Alrighty, and I'm sure, and so that is what is happening. There are some of the media houses in Jamaica that have undertaken to have some hard discussions, like 2 evenings ago. Nationwide News Network, they had a panel discussion. They had the Minister of Education, they had the former Jamaica Teachers Association president, they had the sitting one, they had a principal, and everybody voiced their opinion. There were some hard accusations, but at least they were able to sit down and discuss it, because you need that. We can hear all the public service announcements, we can hear everything that they are communicating from the public relations side, but if you have all the key personnel in this education system sitting together and saying, this is what you have implemented, but we don't agree with it. One of the things that the sitting president said for the Jamaica Teachers Association is that the education ministry is implementing all kinds of new systems that they don't think will work. And she made the suggestion that when you're thinking of it, could you include us and ask us what you think? I personally didn't see anything wrong with that, because you can be at the very top of the pinnacle, but you're not on the ground day to day, right? Seeing the needs, the things that will work, the things that won't work. So you can always implement from the top, but the people at the bottom have to execute it. And if you don't have what you need to execute, you have a big problem. All you have is a framework, but the framework can't be activated because not everybody on the same page to activate it. So that was a really good thing that I believe nationwide, they're just unique like that. So they had that on Nationwide at 5 with Cliff Hughes' program. And that was the discussion, and you have to sit down there and take it. Sometimes when people are critique you in your face, it's not easy to take. But for the betterment of the whole system, you had better listen. And, you respond accordingly. So I hear you. They say they want more money. They say the system is in place, need to be revised across the board,
mechanism in place for the teacher.
Yes, and teachers are frustrated, the whole issue now where children are fight teacher, all of that. Some of them are just over it. They don't want to have any face off with a child. So, there are so many things.
It's because the teachers, the teachers are under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
They're under pressure.
Yes. Well, I appreciate your call. Whom I say? Who are you? Who am I speaking with?
Oh, you're speaking with Trevor, man.
Oh, Trevor.
Trevor is speaking with.
All right. Nice talking to you, Trevor. Thanks for calling.
Okay,
all right. Have yourself a good weekend.
Nice.
Yes, same here.
Oh, you too. Thank you so much.
All righty. Blessings. Bye-bye. I got 12 minutes to go, believe it or not. Disco Music Thursday.
Now I know my heart is safe with you.
Don't forget at 8 p.m. Chris Wilby will be doing his thing on CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. Don't forget to hop on over. Chris Wilby, whatever happened to the smooth groove? Time signal brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Narita Avenue in the Bronx. Please stop by, no man, and say, hey, Lady D, send me. 1802 Narita Avenue in the Bronx. Sweet, sweet, sweet food. Have you ever just looked at food and you just can't wait? It's like you won't find the fork, and if you don't find the fork, you're going to use your hand. You might just use your hands. So a PSA for you, Consulate General of Jamaica, New York, Jamaica 60, reigniting a nation for greatness. See you at the West Indian Labor Day Parade, Monday, September 5. The Consulate General of Jamaica, New York will be on the Eastern Parkway on Labor Day. See you there. Come out and enjoy the floats, costumes, and food of our Caribbean people. So the email came in, and Lord, you had to sign up, kind of register. But when I thought about the heat and so, I'm like, Denise, I really would love to go, because I was at the gala 2 weeks ago. But I hope somebody signed up and they're going. Because I'm telling you, I'm proud of us as Jamaicans. We rolled out for Jamaica 60. I'd like to read Pat's notes. So Pat says, Lady D, thanks for sharing this awesome, educational, inspiring, and uplifting program with us. We appreciate you coming into our homes and keeping us in the know. Wishing you God's richest blessings. And to everyone. Thank you, Pat. 7:53 p.m. It's Inside the Zone. And I want to welcome everyone. If you're just popping in, well, pop in, man. I'm happy. Come pop in. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday. You like my disco? Dum, dum, dum. Getting you in the Labor Day mood. On Labor Day, you must play some nice songs, you know. And if you're going down to the Parkway, hop on the train. Don't bother drive. You won't get parking. Unless you go, when we go over to like Gouvin in the Park, over in Queens, at the Roy Wilkins Park, sometimes people have to pay the homeowners to park like in their driveway. Because sometimes the parking is just horrendous. You can't find nowhere to park. Yes, Vero, I'm a dancer. Anybody remember disco and funky? If you ever see me funky, you'd just shake your head. Oh, dear Lord. I do know how to enjoy myself. Five minutes and counting to 8 o'clock. I'm winding down. I've been here since 6 o'clock. Since 6 p.m. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Cooler Runnings, Jamaican Restaurant, and Aurora. You know, Carsa, when you were thinking of this name for this company, I don't know if you figured that people would have to like pause and look at the oh, Jesus Christ, I must be dying by now. They have to pause and they have to say A, U, you know, kind of spell it first and then kind of get how you know, kind of round up your mouth to call the first word. Aurora Real Estate Solutions, Inc. Thanks, Karsa. Thanks to Soji and Keisha for sponsoring the show today. I brought you this evening Inspirational Zone, New Zone, What's in the Zone, Music Zone, Disco Music Thursday, Male Zone. I'm zoning you out. I mean, you're like zoned out now. You're like, okay, Lady D, I'm done. And we wrapped up with a discussion on our education system in Jamaica. I'm Jamaican. I can't do no better but to talk about my nation. A whole lot of us there, you know, enough. A lot of us Jamaicans are here. And so we are termed the Jamaican diaspora. And wherever we live, we are the diaspora. We are the people. It's a collective. 2 minutes to 8 o'clock. I'm wrapping up. I'd like to wish you a wonderful weekend this weekend. Some of us won't be back to work until Tuesday because Labor Day is on Monday. But whatever you are doing, I pray that we will try to be safe. Please don't do nothing crazy now. And if somebody approaches you and you think they're a little off, you walk them out. Do not engage them in any kind of verbal combat. Don't get physical with anybody, have to punch nobody down, and then I come back hearing that, you know, somebody get locked up over the weekend, because these things happen. Please. And if you're driving, if you know you're going to be the designated driver, somebody need to be responsible to say, hi, what you doing? You're driving us home. Drink water. So please, 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 take it easy. Love up on your children, please. And as you're getting them ready for school, get the book and pencil, write down shoes, check, socks, check, backpack or school bag, check, slate, check. Half a exercise book, check. You know, there are some people who never had a whole exercise book. You stay there. There's some people who only had a half a book, a half a pencil. But they learned though. So you be good, everyone. Hey, Drea, good evening. So blessings, everyone. Take it easy, take it easy. As always, love yourselves, love your children, and in everything you do, it is the will of God concerning your life. A lot of love, 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 and blessings to you. This has been another edition of Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. As always, love yourselves, love your children, telling you again, and in everything you do, it is the will of God concerning your life. Love everyone. Mwah, 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 mwah. I'm out of here.
Hi, this is Carsa Tenant Newell, owner of Aurora Real Estate Solutions. Whether you're thinking about buying, selling, or renting a home in New York or the state of Georgia, I can help. Remember, real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth. Call me at 914-573-1922 to find out more. That's 914-573-1922, or follow me on Instagram at Carsa Tenant Newell. That's Carsa Tenant Newell. I'm looking forward to earning your business.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nerid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music.